You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay on Newstalk 980.
Irv, good to see you again. How have you been?
Dave, I've been great. And I'm going to tell you before you ask me why I've been great. Outside today, spring is just around the corner. A lot of people don't believe that.
Closer.
Some people talk about, seeing animals out and Groundhog Day and all that. Pavement day. I actually saw some pavement without snow and ice on it, so I know spring's coming.
See, that should be an official holiday of some sort.
It should be.
There's no.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we've been kind of doing a series of programs on for sale by owner and everything else, but we were chatting before we came on the air, and you said, look, we need to kind of break a little bit with tradition here. We have to address this. The market. What's going on?
Well, the market's really good, and so we plan to do segments to help out for sale by owners, and we did one segment, and we were going to do 3 or 4. But this is so important, I think we should kind of interrupt that because the market's really pretty good. We have about 600 listings. That's good, and that could tell sellers that people are jumping on the bandwagon, and inventory's going up. That may affect their prices. So inventory's going up, good sales. There were about 72 failures in 5 weeks, which is, I'm not sure why that number is so high.
They're not listed with you. Would be
they weren't listed with me,
yeah.
No. But so the market's really good, and when that market's good, sellers make mistakes or don't act soon enough. Buyers make mistakes, and buyers' agents and sellers' agents make mistakes. So we want to help all those people out. So let's go back to the things that sellers, agents, and buyers should do in a increasingly hot market, just like they have to change things when it decreases. So we want to cover that off and not miss a couple of weeks down the road and people are selling their house too low or not doing the right thing. So I think we should address those.
So, is a hot market where you look back a month later, 2 months later, and you go, gee, look at those prices. That's kind of interesting. We must have been in a hot market. You have to be able to recognize that as quickly as possible and react to it as quickly as possible. How do you do that?
Well, I think that often agents aren't as up on the numbers, and they're not specialists on the numbers as much as they should be. And they should be looking at inventory daily, how many properties sold, all of those things. And agents are traditionally trained to look at solds. And we've talked about this many times before. So in a hot market, you get caught on this all the time. So an agent comes out the 1st of March and has a market evaluation for you. And they went back 3 months or 4 months. So now they pulled in sales in November and December. Well, that's very nice, but if you've got a house to sell in Albert Park and you have only 2 competitors instead of an average of 14 or 15, don't look at the solds, look at the lack of competition.
Supply and demand.
And price your house compared to the competition, not the solds.
So you have an opportunity to price more aggressively, potentially, simply because there aren't as many options out for that type of home in that area.
Sure. When the buyer agent brings an offer, they're going to go back in history, and they're going to pull out a November, December listing and say, oh, here, Irv, this is why we wrote this. And I'm going to say, well, that's great, but you can't buy that house anymore. Here's what you can buy in the area. There are only 2 houses or 3 houses. I just sold a house on Habkirk Drive, and I had to send 2 agents packing with offers, and we didn't even counter them because they brought me very poor comparables. That's what you count on your listing agent to do, is to be strong for you and sell those buyers agents that, hey, this isn't the right price and we're not taking it. In fact, go away because we're not even countering it. We're so confident we're going to get a higher offer. We're not even putting our cards on the table. That's what great listing agents do. They have to be strong. So you have to point out to them, hey, that's great that that house sold in November, December. Your client can't buy it anymore. There's only 3 houses to sell, and ours is the best one, and that's why we're not countering you. And it takes a strong listing agent to do that.
Because you're going to get pressure if you're the listing agent. You're going to be getting pressure once you inform the seller, saying, oh, okay, we do have an offer, and if the buyer's agent comes in and says, well, no, here's the comparables, and Oh, okay. If you're not a strong agent for the seller, and if you're not up on your homework and done your due diligence on this, you're going to cost that seller some money.
If you are a motivated seller, you absolutely want to interview and hire an agent that is strong and can be aggressive for you. You know, if you're unmotivated, it doesn't matter, you know, who you hire. Mm-hmm. And so you really want that, because they have to be tough in the field and they have to be good negotiators, because the buyer's agents are working them down because they're trying to get the house for their buyer at the right price and terms. And so often, listing agents cave into this. So, you know, if you're going to interview somebody, you know, I always talk about tough questions in the interview.
Yeah.
Tough agents don't mind tough questions.
Well, if you can't handle a tough question in the interview, how are you going to do when you come up against another agent who actually knows their stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good point.
So now, so let's say, as you say, we're in a market that appears to be trending upwards. Increasingly, it's starting to heat up. And I like the point that you made, that people are starting to get that, where we've got over 600 listings. People are starting to realize that, no, you don't have to wait till the May long weekend and that's, you know, get the flowers up and do everything else.
Sure.
Look at the market. What is the market doing? If the market is strong, it's a great time to list your home.
It is. And when you list your home, the agent should explain how they're going to work your listing and what they're going to do in this hot market to you. And if they don't, you want to ask them. If you're not getting the correct answers, you better look to somebody else. And there's some key things a listing agent should do, and I don't see that very often in a hot market. They really want to control that listing. They want to control when they do offers, and they have to be on the ball and have their business set up in a way that they're free to follow up on those showings the first day personally and find out what those agents are thinking about the price, the condition, the location. Is there a chance of an offer? Really, really important, especially if an offer comes in that first day.
So you're talking about even within a couple hours of a showing, in this type of market, a good seller's agent should have followed up with the other agent for the buyer and gotten the inside scoop. Absolutely.
Because this is what a buyer's agent will do. Buyer's agent will phone at 6:30 at night and say, oh, Irv, I got an offer for you. I'm going to fax it over to you, and it's open till 7:30. Now, if I haven't done the follow-up, that's not very good. The other point is they're not going to do that to me. I guarantee you that. They're not. You know, I like to set up listings in a hot market where we have the option of having that offer open 24 hours. We may never exercise it. If you're a buyer's agent and you can write us a great offer, full price, no conditions, $30,000 deposit, everything great, we'll probably sign it right away. Mm-hmm. But we want that option in case I've done the follow-up and we've got a lot of action and I'm trying to get 2 or 3 offers at once.
Potentially competing offers.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that scenario and more. Quick break, though. By the way, Irv's website, a great resource for you, www.irvsells.ca. That's irvsells.ca, where you can pick up the phone. Give Irv a call, 790-3753, 790-3753. Turn the key with Irv Tremblay. You're listening to Inside Real Estate, courtesy part, Century 21. Back after this.
On Newstalk 980.